first 2 months of the quarters were severely impacted because of the second wave of of pandemic. However, despite of that, I think the quarter has ended on a very much more optimistic note. And of course, there is an YOY comparison. If you do that, the growth rate is about 75%. But but actually, YOY comparison may not be the appropriate one because last year Q1 was very much impacted. But even if you look at the year previous to that, and if you compare, I think I think the things are shaping up, and coming back to normal, and we are looks like that we are poised for a good growth, from given how we have ended the quarter, particularly the month of June. It looks like that we are heading or we are entering a high growth phase.
High growth. Your billings improved by about 65% is what I'm given to understand. Can that trend continue?
Well, as I said that, the billing growth of 65% is because last year Q1 was, so much impacted because of lockdown and pandemic and all that. So I would not be able to give an indication of what that growth would be. But particularly Naukri, it looks like that the recruitment space is going through a growth phase. Particularly the technology, recruitment space, is very bullish, and we will benefit out of that trend. Even in 99 acres, as we kind of speak, we are seeing a growth over month-over-month, growth in the traffic. So I'm sure the monetization also will follow. So we are pretty hopeful in that business as well.
So let's talk about Naukri.com and the traction you're seeing in the technology sector, especially hiring in the technology space. Naukri being, of course, your jobs portal. IT and IT-enabled services used to be about 40-45% of the business. And you're saying hiring is hot in that segment. There's a huge demand for engineers in India. Can the momentum sustain? And also the kind of paychecks that are being offered. We were reading up about how some engineers were hired for 4x the amount in a matter of months by two competing companies. And so do you think this can essentially sustain?
Well, we are also hearing some stories like that, but on at a mass scale, we think that yes, salaries are on the rise. But the good part is that the technical people, the engineering talent is not only hired by the tech sector, but it's also by the non-tech sector. So what we are now seeing is that why one of the key reasons why the demand is so much is that the traditional sector, the conventional sectors like manufacturing, they are also now using IT as one of their channels, and then everybody wants to establish their presence in the digital world. So we are saying that the demand for tech talent is growing not only in tech sector but also in non-tech sector.
Mm-hmm. What is perhaps the biggest headwind or challenge, Chintan, that you foresee for your business, given that there's always that risk of a third wave lingering?
So I think the challenge, is the same as one of the reasons that we have for the optimistic note is the employee and talent, right? So talent cost is rising inside our company as well, and retention and attrition is an issue for us as well. So retaining top talent and attracting more and more top talent, I think that remains a key challenge. But on the business side, that's an opportunity for us.